Is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Say to yourself, it's very important that those words come out of your mouth and your ears can hear them and things around you can hear them. The sun will shine on your finances. The sun will shine on everything you do. Stay convinced, okay? Stay positive, okay? It's not motivation. It's words that are life. Words are life. They are also death. Okay, if you don't say anyone, whether you're saying death or life, we don't know where you belong. And then anything that happens is anything that can happen, okay? But you need to choose life. Choose life. Above all, choose life. All right, let's check in with the headlines if you can. If you're ready for it, let's take a look at some of the biggest stories as we have it for today, the 24th day of July, 2023. Here we go.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I'm ready. Let's take on the biggest debates on radio, provide insights, experience, and build an unforgettable discussion together. I am Femi D. Amele.
Welcome to the Headlines Review as we take a look at stories as we have them across the papers for today. Do remember the stories have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers, and we on Nigeria Info are only informing you of the headlines as we have them for today.
This is Morning Crossfire.
If you're streaming, well, please do go on to YouTube and Facebook at this point in time at Nigeria Info Abuja. At Nigeria Info Abuja. You'll see me with my big raincoat jacket or something like that. I don't know what to make of it, but I kind of like it. This is my favorite jacket right now. It's making sense to me. Don't mind me. I just have to bring it in here. Here can be very cold. But no problem. Let's read your comments as you bring them in on those platforms. And if you're on Twitter, you can do the same. At Nigeria Info ABJ will do fine if you're writing in on Twitter as well. Now, some of the headlines we'll be reviewing this morning comes from Daily Trust, Leadership, The Nation, This Day, and The Sun. All of them are newspapers available in print and in digital form as well. Now, reading from Daily Trust. Amid shrinking reserves, concern mount over Tinubu's directives on grains. Controversies as Sanwo-Olu approves mass burial of 103 NSAS victims. Now, by the way, he has also come out on Twitter late last night to say there was no such memo. Okay, we'll see. And then other stories from Daily Trust. What will happen if Tinubu fails to present ministerial list this week? And then Nigeria risks losing more communities' land to Cameroon. Ogun students beat teacher who stopped exam malpractice. Suleja chief imam dies hours after return from Hajj. Shetima off to Italy, Russia to represent Tinubu at global summits. Trapped convoy. Obaseki breaks silence, accuses federal government of abandoning Edo State. Abuja Airport to commence enforcement of new toll fare August 1. Ogun student beat teacher who stopped them from cheating. Still keeping up with Daily Trust. New metering code not targeted at increasing electricity tariff, says disco officials. Abducted female students raise alarm as bandits threaten to marry them off. NNPC, 123 billion remittance and the burden of subsidy debt. Improved internal security to determine reopening of land borders, says Customs. Petrol sales for 1,000 naira per litre in Ogun border communities. How I survived political oblivion in Kwara State, says Lai Mohammed. Why Abbas will not be a rubber stamp speaker, says Rep Agbese. Ministers urged to consider only Nigerians with passion. All right, then. Well, those are some of the Few stories that I can take on from Daily Trust. Reading from leadership now. National Assembly, that's NAS, spends 53.7 billion naira on cars for lawmakers in 12 years. Amid 2022 budget for flood control skewed now, stakeholders allege. Falana confirms participation as keynote speaker at Leadership NDLEA conference. Insecurity, Nigeria will overcome challenges, says CDS. This deity called Patrol. Serap asks court to stop CBN over customers' social media handles. INEC can amend guidelines on e-transmission of results, says appeal court. Diphtheria outbreak, a call for action. Muslim fans slam Davido's signee Logos Oloro's controversial music video. Benin Republic slams 2 million sefa on Nigeria-bound cargoes. Mercy Chinwo sweeps Maranatha Awards in USA. And then you'd also find why I reappointed all ex-governor Emmanuel's commissioners. Eno speaks about this. And then INEC recognizes Youth Party as Nigeria's political parties, now 19. APC zoning, it's not Central Stone, say Northwest Vice Chairman. And then reps will make sacrifices for Nigerians. Honorable Agbese speaks about this. Kalu calls for great economic partnerships among African countries. Fuel subsidy remover, rethink policy or fail woefully, says Adebayo. Moving on to the nation for today. Market awaits monetary direction from CBN's MPCs. Other stories as well. APC NEC to ratify Ganduje Basiru as chairman and secretary. NSAS, nobody taken from tollgate, says Lagos government. Court of Appeal, e-transmission of results, not mandatory. My best friend, lover, left me for joining police, says IG. Well, I guess this was in his early years, just to be clear, so that people don't think the IG is an affair is declaring. I presume this was in his early years. All right, other stories from the nation for today. Ateta, party will stay at Arsenal. How petrol forex interaction affects pricing. NNPCL pays 81 billion interim dividend. NGX upgrades Fidelity Bank to medium price stock 1. 100 million inactive phone lines risk deactivation. PDP grapples with uncertain future. Food emergency. There's a story about that under the editorial section of The Nation for today. Okay, I think this covers a good number of the stories that do share this very morning. Shetima for Global Food Security Summit in Italy. Disco set November 2024 for meter upgrade deadline. Experiential marketers mark 10th anniversary. Elect officers. Include youths in new cabinet. Nigerian equities outperform global stock with 1.3 trillion naira gains. All right, well, these are stories here and there from The Nation. Moving on to this day. Now, from this day, article, heavens won't fall if tribunal removes Tinubu. Subsidy remover, Naira float, inflation, orders in focus as MPC meets today. That's the CBN's Monetary Policy Committee, yeah? Okay. NMDPRA rolls out the commissioning abandonment regulation and 3 others. You can also read about UNFPA pledges support for Kogi flood response plan. Railway vandalism. NSCDC arrests 12 suspects, impounds trucks and warehouses. Subsidy removal, Naira float, inflation orders in focus as MPC meets today. I did talk about that earlier. Shetima leaves for Italy, Russia to attend UN Food Systems Summit, Russia-African meeting. 2 security men injured, operational vehicles burned as bandits attack Niger community. Police arrest armed man locking around popular hotel to attack guests in Anambra State. Amid Forex unification, PFA's exposure in stock market rose by 29.11% in the first half. Trading above 5 naira per share, Nigerian exchange reclassifies Fidelity Bank as medium price stock. SEC to raise awareness on sustainable finance, climate change mitigation. Seamless HR, Gates Foundation launches app to boost organizational efficiency. Aruwala in the eye of the storm, that's the chief judge. Adamu's expected fall also appears in this day for today. All right, moving on to other stories. Let's round off by taking a look at stories from the Sun newspaper for today. Presidential polls. Anxiety mounts as Judgment Day beckons. NSAS. Lagos government approves mass burial for victims. Life now unbearable. Afeni Ferry. ACF Middle Belt Forum orders lament. And also, Tajuddin Abbas, 10th Assembly won't be rubber stamp, says Rep. Agbese. Obaseki accuses federal government of abandoning Edo. Keeping up with all the stories, Delta, Labour Party speller heads to appeal court. In Benue State, PDP, APC in war of words over Elias' visit to Dogban Mensah. Good sustainability reporting, key to unlocking capital private sector investments. Obaseki accuses federal government of abandoning Edo State. All right, well, these are just some of the stories as you have them in the Sun. Well, let's leave it at that with the stories across the papers for today. We've reviewed stories from the Sun, This Day, The Nation, Leadership, and Daily Trust for today. Do remember, the stories have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers, and we on Nigeria Info have only informed you of the headlines as we have them for today.
This is Morning Crossfire.
All right, let's take on your calls at this time. Do remember to follow through with our editorial guide. Your calls need to be devoid of hateful speech, lies, fake news, and abuses. We ask of you to be truthful and factual as you share with us on Nigeria Info. If you're streaming live right now, we're excited to see your messages as they come in on YouTube and on Facebook. Any of them will do fine at Nigeria Info Abuja. At Nigeria Info Abuja. Okay? On Twitter is at Nigeria Info ABJ. You do fine. The numbers remain 080-999-301-37 for WhatsApp messages and calls. And the regular lines remain 0700-951-0000. You can also join in on 080-9597-4869. Let's take on your calls.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Yeah, good morning, Femi.
Yes, good morning. Glad you connected with us. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this is Femi. My name is Al-Hassan Takane Dola from Gondaraka, local government, State.
Yes, please. Go on.
Let me take from Jack Obasanjo, several women forget Edo State. That is why at times when you are moving to moving, you have to take a very easy camera will shoot you out. I can assure you there's one time Obaseki tell the president of the new president of this country that it's not Lagos. Okay, now who is who now? Who is crying now? That is why you have to say something. Take it easy. Don't stay back. Stay good. Thank you very much for now.
All right, thank you very much. Over the weekend, there was video. I think it was the governor's convoy. People who are very close to Edo, people would know. That was talking flood on the road. And the door opened. I think that was Obaseki. I'm not too sure, though. But that was quite, just a scene to behold, to see a governor's convoy stuck there in the floods. Yes, good morning to you. Good morning.
Hello? Yeah, Dr. Femi, good morning. My name is Mamizi.
Welcome. The sun will shine on you.
My governor, Obaseki, said federal government abandoned Edo State. I'm not happy with that statement. You know why? He is also collecting allocation. Thus far, what have you done with the allocation? Mr. Obaseki, sir, remember when you were campaigning to become governor for the second term? Edo people came out en masse to vote for you, not because you are the most handsome or intelligent person, but because they believe that you take them to the promised land. Is this the promised land? Complaining. I know we have federal roads that you can lobby or do certain things, pending when the federal government will remember you. This idea of blaming, we will not buy it, but I will conclude by saying, my governor, remember we told you, Edo, no be Lagos. We stood by you through thick and thin. We don't deserve this. Go to Edo State. We are educated. You will see somebody with master's degree doing Okada. Why? Because you are not doing your bit. Don't put the blame on federal government. This is not to say federal government does not have our own. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good to hear from you this morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello there to you.
Good morning, Dr. Femi.
Good morning.
My name is Felix.
All right, Felix, you may need to speak up a little bit, please.
Okay. Article says that heaven will not fall if they overturn Tinubu election. If they overturn 2007 election results, maybe sometimes why we talk about on this thing is that when people come to us and have one governor and want that party to be declared a ruling party or a senator, want that party to be declared, it used to be as if somebody is holding black for hand and asked us to call and white. If not, nobody would have talked about it, because as far as I'm concerned, family, three things can never happen. According to my grandfather in the village here, it can never say first republic politician. You cannot send a former president that represented a tribe and race, a religion, to jail unless you want to set the country on fire. Two, you cannot impeach a sitting president that represents a tribe and race. You cannot overturn an already announced and declared presidential election, not the one that they overturn give them. It is then waiting give Peter Obi, and now this article PDP still in existence after Peter Obi run away with the umbrella. Instead of finding how to bring PDP back, he's talking about if the family want to bet with you. Anytime they overturn this, if they overturn Tinubu election, when you hear my voice, got me. Nobody can overturn a really announced presidential election unless you want those who are looking for how this country will be born into.
Okay. All right.
And they will never succeed.
Thank you, Felix. Let's leave it at that with you. Thanks for your viewpoint. Okay, good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. My name is Umar.
Umar, good to have you on.
I actually gig and laugh a little when the guy said Peter will be running with the PDP umbrella.
If you watch the video, you'll find me smiling. If you watch the video, I was smiling. Okay, Umar, go on.
Good morning once again. It's about my state. I don't see basically stuck at the flood. I watched that video. Femi D, go and ask Obaseki what has he done so far in the 8 years in the 7+ governance in Edo State. Nothing. I mean nothing. Sometimes you have governors who actually repairs federal roads and ask government for a refund. Federal government for refund. What has he done? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Only to use Edo State to fight Oshomole, to get him out of APC chairman and so many other things. Nothing. His deputy governor would convoy. He was even stock mine in my state too. I don't know. The outer part of it is cut, break into two from Ikabigbo, and that part again, around Agenebode. You can't pass through. Government is coming to tell us he's going to blame federal government for what he could not do. What a shame.
All right.
What a shame on Governor Baseki.
All right. Well, let's leave that up with you. Thank you so much, Umar, for your viewpoint on this. Okay, reading some of our friends' messages as we have them on Facebook and on YouTube. Olari or David says, good morning, Femi D. Isiaka Abdulaziz says, good morning, Femi D. Watching you live from Suleja. Oh, thanks for that. Akie Tony says, good morning, Femi D. Titus Taguma says, good morning, Femi D. The sensational, magnificent... Oh, okay, that's me. Thanks. I'm grateful for your kind words. It's Comrade Titus Oihonajin Taguma, a.k.a. Moticast, the mayor from Makadi of Benue State, live. Okay, thanks for that. Mazu John Lasisi from Buhari says, good morning, FMD. Ministerial list, is bad not going the way of last administration? Why the delay? Governors have to kick up in full, please. George Obi says, morning, FMD, more grace. Thank you, sir. Joel Naniti says, good morning, FMD. Dr. Missy Libera says, majority of our students are no longer reading and the reading culture is poor. They are so much addicted to their phones while they are glued to Facebook, musical videos, and football. She writes, and then she concludes by saying, some are also interested in reading to pass, and others depend on examination malpractice, cheating to pass, and end up passing through the school without school passing through them. Imagine students beating a teacher for stopping them from cheating. The students face their studies and not Facebook. Also, Francis Unamani says, watching live from Enugu State. Good morning, FMD. Good morning, Nigeria. Federal government should urgently revise the current hike in petrol pump price to save the average Nigerian from the present hardship and sufferings. It's purely the responsibility of government to make lives meaningful. Okay, this almost slipped away. To make life meaningful to the citizenry, not to create hardships. Okay, may God help us. Also, Francis also says, keep up the good work. All right, I think those are just some of the messages I can take on right now. All right, I do see many others. I'm grateful to Timothy Origime, Nelly Kave, Ali Zuberu, Malam, Dixon Joseph, Obiana Ju, Ruth Okeke, Gordon James as well, Ayuba Gabriel, Simon Brown, Samson, Shakowolu Kebe, Ejim Waziri, all did right in Praise Luke as well. And also our team on YouTube, Otuba Dr. Akim, Mazu Jola, CC, Gum Daniel, also all writing in. Stay with us right here on Nigeria Info. After the break, find out some interesting things that happened over the weekend. And yes, what they mean for the world of news, you're about to find out. This is Morning Crossfire with FMD Live. I'll be back.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.